I want to ask you a question. What kind of hungry and thirsty are you? As I began to prepare for the fast, I thought of a couple of different statements that Jesus made. The first is from John chapter 4, when the disciples and Jesus hadn't had anything to eat in quite some time, so the disciples went into the city to buy food, and when they came back with the food and offered it to Jesus, he said to them, "I have meat to eat that you know not of." Well, the disciples thought naturally, where did he get food from? Where did he get something to eat? And this just got me to thinking of the different ways that we can respond in the time of prayer and fasting. We can think naturally, what do I have to give up? What do I have to go without? What do I have to do? Or we can think spiritually, as I seek the Lord, my heart is filled with expectation of the satisfaction I'll find in him. I know it's a simple truth, but I believe it is a weapon of the enemy to want to try and take God's rightful place in the life of a believer. He seeks to cause us to be deceived and spend our lives seeking satisfaction in the things of the world. But that satisfaction soon fades away, and our natural man will try and store up the natural. We'll stockpile food and money and luxury, entertainment, accolades, power, position. But all of this is meaningless in the economy of heaven. When we worry, we're trusting in our own understanding. When we strive, we're trusting in our own effort. When we work too much to accumulate stuff, we're trusting in what this world has to offer. This will leave us in poverty of soul. We can turn to the natural to make up for the lack we sense. Even believers, we can try and dull or numb the pain of the fallen world that we live in, but we need to draw life and strength from God alone. We must learn the secret of surrender and dependence on God, and him alone is our soul satisfied. Fasting and prayer is a wonderful season to draw near to the true source of life, to slow down, to quiet the noise and the press of this world. This is where he transforms our hearts. Jesus went on to say that his food was to do the will of him who sent him and to finish his work. There's only one way to do the Father's will and to finish his work, and that's in knowing him and walking in his power. Only he is sufficient for the day that we live in. Only in him are we truly overcomers. So where do you find your strength? If you find your strength and satisfaction in the world, I'm telling you, in the day of adversity, the scriptures say our strength will fail, and truly we'll all face days of great adversity. It'll be too late to be strengthened then, so be filled today because we have food to eat that this world does not know of. The second phrase I thought about was when Jesus was on the cross and he declared, "I thirst." I know in the natural he was very thirsty, but beyond that I can't help but to think he wasn't only crying out for his physical need. I believe Jesus was longing for something greater. Jesus was always focused on the eternal, not the immediate. Jesus had overcome rejection. He defeated sin. He thirsted for the will of the Father. He thirsted for the souls of men. But I believe above and beyond that, he thirsted at the deepest level. Jesus thirsted for the presence of God. For the first time, he endured separation from the presence of God as he took our place. I can't imagine what a sense of longing for his presence he must have had. When he cried out, "I thirst," I can't help but to think how he longed for the intimate relationship with his Father to be restored. What about us? Do we thirst for the presence of God? I pray that during this fast we will slow the flow of what this world has to offer and turn to the Lord in greater measure. As we turn to the Lord in fasting and prayer, he can break the chronic disease of busyness. We get so busy trying to find answers everywhere but in God. I pray that during this fast we won't be like the rich man asking, "What do I have to do? What do I have to give up?" Let's hunger and thirst for the treasure of heaven. Let's eat and drink deeply at his table. Oh Lord, stir our hearts to hunger and thirst for you. We turn to you. We humble ourselves in your presence today. God, we're hungry for you, Lord. We thirst for your presence.